The truth of girls. The truth of girls.
Hi everyone. Well, just when I thought it couldn't possibly get any worse with the TSA, it does. TSA stands by officers after pat down of elderly women in Florida. This wasn't just any pat down. We're talking here about a 95-year-old woman in a wheelchair with leukemia being forced to remove her adult diaper. This is completely insane. Where is this going to end? TSA says that the officers did the right thing because they felt something wet and firm. What do you think you're going to feel on a diaper? This poor old lady is a terrorist? Wait, she's 95 years old, for Pete's sake. She's sick and she can't even walk. What's she going to do on a plane that's going to threaten people's safety? And I can't believe that the TSA stands by their officers. You know why? Because they'll stand by their officers doing absolutely anything. I'm quite sure that if it continues like this, down the road, some TSA officer will stick their finger up somebody's butt. No kidding. And the TSA will stand by them. America has lost their common sense. Oh, common sense has no place in the American New World Order. And here's another story. Who's your grandmother arrested for buying cold medication? This was in 2009. Another poor grandmother victimized by the completely illogical legal system of the US of A. She went to the pharmacy and bought a pack of Claritin and then went later to buy another one for her husband, and according to law she's not allowed to buy more than one a week. So they arrested her because you could use the pseudoephedrine in there to make meth, but grandma wasn't making meth. And what's even worse is that Harold's photo was put on the front page of the local paper as part of an article about the arrest of 17 people in a drug sweep. They put her face on the front page of the newspaper saying that she was involved in a drug sweep. I hope she sued them then for libel. They were generous enough to let her enter a deferral program where if she would just commit no crimes for 30 days, her arrest would be wiped from the record. But the damage has already been done. She was on the front page of the newspaper being made out to be some kind of a drug dealer. This is how they explain their logic. While the law was written with the intent of stopping people from purchasing large quantities of drugs to make methamphetamine, the law does not say the purchase must be made with the intent to make meth. So again, no logic. You purchase 2 boxes of Claritin and that makes you a criminal. Meanwhile, here's what happened recently in Germany. Drug plot raid reveals old woman feeding rabbits with cannabis. The police in Brandenburg found a big plot of pot, and it turned out that it belonged to a woman who was using the pot to feed her rabbits. She hadn't planted it, according to what she says, and she even tried to cut it down. She found it was extremely hardy and it just grew right back up. At the end of the article, they mentioned that there was no official comment on what the elderly woman was expected to feed her rabbits with now. I guess those rabbits are going to have to find another plug. But they didn't put her in jail. They kind of knew, I guess, that she didn't, she wasn't growing dangerous drugs illegally on purpose. She was feeding her rabbits. So the police just cut down her plants and basically left it at that and accepted her explanation. And all I can say is she's just lucky this didn't happen in the US, or she would have probably been thrown in jail and had her picture on the front page of the newspaper with a caption of something like 84-year-old woman taken down in drug bust. Like the woman with the Claritin. I mean, can you imagine if that's what happens when you have some Claritin? What's going to happen to you if you've got a whole field of pot? Never mind that you're feeding it to your rabbits. She's lucky. She's lucky she was in Germany and not the US, because the US, when it comes to law enforcement, they have no more common sense. It's like, in their attempt to keep us safe, they gone completely over the edge, and now they kind of treat everybody like they could be a terrorist or a drug dealer or some kind of criminal. Is it worth it? I wonder if the people are ever going to just say this is enough and rise up or something, but I somehow doubt it. But this has got to stop. I mean, the American government have got to stop treating their people like criminals, because otherwise where's it going to end? Well, thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.